I think my most important academic work is written down in a book which is called The Governance of Problems, and as a subtitle it has Puzzling, Powering and Participation. And it is about public policy making in Western democracies. It starts from the thesis that there is actually a big rift between administrative and political elites and, say, ordinary people, lay people, voters in those democracies. And it argues that representative democracy alone, or electoral democracy alone, is insufficient. You need to have what I call in-between election democracy by allowing for more deliberative or more participatory practices of democracy and policy making, which is that representative governors, civil servants, official civil servants, ought to allow small groups of citizens to together deliberate about policy programs and policy issues, and that in this way the gap between elite discourse on policy and, say, ordinary folk discourse on policy, that this gap can somehow be bridged, because it has reached dangerous forms, particularly in terms of populist developments which only talk about this gap itself, the contrast between elites and the masses, without having any constructive idea about how to bridge those gaps. I don't have my university anymore because I'm retired since 2015. And also I must say that I worked at 4 or 5 different universities in the Netherlands and in the United States, and now also in Lebanon. So it's hard to talk about my university. But take the University of Twente, which was my home base for say, since 2000 till 2015. It was a small university. It was rather technically oriented. It had social science departments, but they were, say, aiding the more technology-focused departments. For instance, I was member of a group which called itself Science, Technology, Society and Policy Studies, which means that we were doing technology assessments, looking at the positive and negative consequences of technologies for, well, basically for social systems and for the way ordinary people would start using or not using particular technologies and seeing risks or only seeing benefits, and how to calculate the risks and how to make a trade-off between the risks and the benefits. But again, it was a small university. Last decade we attracted a lot of German students, also Chinese students, so it became more and more international. And that, of course, is a big difference between that university and this one here, the Russian People's Friendship University, which has been international from its very start. But I must say that because I'm a visitor here and I do have my guest lectures, students may be less forthcoming in terms of questions and dialogue and discussions than they would be normally. And that, I would say, is also a difference. In Twente, I was used to teach very interactively, almost in a dialogue with the students, whereas here that is not really possible. Yes, I have been in Russia before, between I think 2007 and 2012, I was a regular visitor, because together with your own Professor Alexander Kotchegura, I was coordinating an effort funded by the European Union for teacher and student exchange between Russian universities and European universities. And well, we concluded that process in 2011, I think. And I'm very happy to hear that, although there hasn't been much progress since then, very recently your public administration people have contacted my university again to revive that, that process. So that is very good. And the other thing I did in Russia was that I was also guest teaching several years for a week or 2 weeks in a row at the what is it, the new School of Economics here also in Moscow.